Coming up on Agweek TV, a new technology could come sweeping through ranchers' pastures. A group of farmers lawyer up for proper pay in a pipeline project. North Dakota potatoes will soon be under the golden arches. We'll visit a grain elevator house and check out updates made since we were first there 4 years ago. And we profile a camp that allows kids to see what farm life is like. Welcome to Agweek TV. I'm Emily Beal. McDonald's is one of the most well-known brands in the world. The fast food juggernaut will now be using potatoes developed at North Dakota State University in Fargo for its world-famous French fries. The restaurant has accepted the Dakota Russet as its newest potato variety for fries. Dakota Russet was developed by NDSU potato breeder Susie Thompson. It was released 10 years ago and thrives in a shorter growing season like in the upper Midwest. For Thompson, it's a dream come true.
In the potato industry, oftentimes McDonald's French fries are considered to be the gold standard, and certainly they are marketed globally. So having our processors be able to produce fries that move around the world, it's really a game changer for the Midwest.
The Dakota Russet is high yielding, requires less water and fertilizer than other potatoes, and unlike other varieties, isn't susceptible to sugar end, a disorder that causes dark ends on fries, making them undesirable. Dakota Russet is now one of 8 varieties McDonald's uses from North America. The U.S. Supreme Court has rejected Bayer's efforts to dismiss legal claims by people who say its Roundup weed killer causes cancer. The German company wants to avoid what could be billions of dollars in damages to thousands of cancer victims. The justices left in place a lower court decision that upheld $25 million in damages awarded to a Roundup user who blamed his cancer on the glyphosate-based weed killer. The justices are also considering a second case on a related issue. Minnesota's Attorney General addressed farmers' concerns about market consolidation and other issues at a recent meeting organized by the Minnesota Farmers Union. Keith Ellison told the group about recent actions by his office to address the consolidations that are hurting farmers, price gouging, right to repair legislation, and more. Ellison wants farmers to know they have an ally in the Attorney General's office.
It's important for farmers to know that if you are having a problem, probably somebody else is too, so you are likely helping another person by raising the issue.
We had a good discussion. We learned about some of the work that the Attorney General's office is already doing, prioritizing antitrust and agriculture, just like the administration is prioritizing that, and that Farmers Union has made a strategic priority.
The MFU website says 4 companies control 85% of beef packing, seed corn production, and the pesticide market. Ellison says his office will continue to track consolidation in the state. A group of farmers in central North Dakota say the government is grossly underpaying them for a pipeline project on their land. It would take Missouri River water to eastern North Dakota, but they say they're likely to suffer substantial losses and have hired a lawyer. Mikkel Pates takes a closer look in this week's Agweek cover story.
This is a slap in the face to anybody. Think of $12,000. What do you get for $12,000 and then deal with this later?
Syketston, North Dakota farmer Fred Richter started hearing about plans for a pipeline on his land about a decade ago, and construction began last year. The 167-mile pipeline is designed to move Missouri River water to the Cheyenne River and then the Red River to feed central and eastern North Dakota. He has several concerns about it, chiefly that the $1,300 per acre he's being offered for the use of a stretch of about 10 acres is far too little for the ongoing crop loss and other issues he'll suffer, even though project officials say it's not out of line for a public utility.
You can't get it back because that production's not going to come back, not over a pipeline of something.
The steel pipe is 6 feet in diameter, about as wide as a person is tall. It's laid in 50-foot long segments in a trench 13 to 20 feet deep. All of this is covered by a 150-foot wide easement. Landowners say compensation is far less than it would be for an oil pipeline.
We're getting paid 10 times less for a pipeline that's 10 times bigger.
Co-sponsors of the pipeline are the Garrison Diversion and the Lake Agassiz Water Authority. Some landowners, like Larry Rexine of Bowden, North Dakota, have banded together to hire a lawyer to improve contracts that would cover a couple dozen in the group, about 10% of the hundreds of landowners that may be involved overall.
The easement they signed us was so unprofessional and so ridiculous, a first grader wouldn't have signed that. we don't have to talk to you guys. We're going to use eminent domain. I said, this isn't right.
They're also concerned about damage to roads from the heavy construction truck traffic and worry that no one will take full or timely responsibility for repairs, even though the project officials say they will.
We can't even hardly get money to fix these up. If these roads get ruined, I want to know who's going to pay for them.
And they fear their families might be financially or legally responsible if the project is abandoned unfinished, as some garrison diversion projects in their backyard have been in the past. Managers describe this possibility as remote, even though at current funding levels it would take 37 years to complete. The legislature is considering options that could accelerate this to 10 or even 6 years.
What if that pipe has to come back up? Do you know what it'll cost to bring that pipe back up and do what they did to bury it? The same amount of money. I don't have that kind of money to put. It ain't got $12,000 is not going to work for that.
It's only 1.25 miles, but that's my livelihood. You know, that's everything.
In Syketston, North Dakota, this is Mikkel Pates for Agweek.
The project recently notified landowners they'll be sued for eminent domain if they don't voluntarily sign easements by July 8th. You can read much more in the next Agweek magazine or at agweek.com. Coming up on Agweek TV, a new robotic vacuum could soon be sweeping weeds from your pasture.
Small or large, Superior Grain Equipment has the storage, conditioning, and handling equipment to fit any size operation with a wide variety of options and accessories, including our patented Blockbuster auger to help break up blockages over the center sump gate, and a full line of mixed flow grain dryers with even heating, excellent efficiency, and expandable capacities. Protect your investment and market your grain. Get superior quality, protection, and reliability with Superior Grain Equipment.
You can get the field results you want in varying conditions with the flexibility of the Summers VRT Renegade, featuring on-the-fly blade angle adjustment from 0 to 19 degrees. And if you want the simplicity of a super coulter with the ability to move a little dirt, you'll love the all-new Summers Super Coulter Samurai. Go to summersmfg.com or visit your local dealer to learn more about North America's broadest line of tillage equipment and other products from North Dakota-based Summers Manufacturing.
All right, here's the free gift I got for opening up a checking account. Let's see what I got.
Okay guys, so I got this portable DVD player.
Yeah, I'm not sure why my bank would give me a tiny waffle maker.
So it's a tumbler, but it doesn't fit in any of my cup holders.
I wasn't even sure they still made these.
Is it for kids? Is this for kids?
Don't fall for the free gift. Find a bank that cares about what you really need. Cornerstone Bank.
At Advanced Grain Handling Systems, we're your full-service grain dryer and bin project partner. We'll handle everything from start to finish.
These guys are all in one. That was one of the big draws. They were the general. They took care of the electrical. They took care of the cement, took care of everything.
Whether your next project is big or small, let our team help with it all. Visit advancedgrainhandling.com.
Dynaflow is the ultimate high-volume water management pump. Whether you're experiencing flooding, emptying sloughs, transferring ponds, or working on irrigation, the Dynaflow pump works in as little as 18 inches of water and is designed to move 3,000 gallons per minute. The Dynaflow lift pump is the perfect upgrade to your drain tile system. Using line shaft turbine pump technology, these pumps are made to last while operating efficiently. Dynaflow drain tile pumps can move up to 1,500 gallons per minute, up to 3,400 feet away.
Some Minnesota researchers have come up with a solution to a time-consuming problem for farmers and ranchers. Jeff Beach joins us now with a look at the Cowbot.
The Cowbot is a weed mowing machine that operates without a driver. It can save landowners time and money improving pastures.
It's kind of like a Roomba for a pasture, except a smart one.
Eric Buchanan is a renewable energy scientist with the West Central Research and Outreach Center in Morris, Minnesota. They're working with researchers at the University of Minnesota to fix a problem. Cows eat the grass in their pastures, but not the weeds, like thistles.
So they tend to grow and can overtake a pasture, so someone needs to mow them. It's kind of a rough job and no one really wants to do it, and farmers have better things to do. So we thought, could we take a lawnmower and automate it, basically make it mow the pasture all by itself.
They worked with the Toro Company of Minnesota, which is known for its lawnmowers. Toro converted a diesel golf course mower to solar-charged electric, with a more aggressive blade than the one it uses for fairways. It works with a GPS system to map out the pasture.
And then the computer program on the mower will calculate a path to mow whatever area that is that we've just outlined. And then it takes over by itself. It goes to a starting point and follows the path that it created and just mows the whole pasture.
Buchanan says the best use for the cowbot right now might be on organic farms that don't spray herbicides for weeds. He says they hope to refine the process to just mowing the weeds. They're also working on a robot that weeds row crops.
So I think you're just going to see more and more of this autonomous element coming into farm machines.
Buchanan emphasizes it's still a research project, not available to the public just yet.
Very interesting. Thanks, Jeff. Agricultural educators from North Dakota and Minnesota made the trek to Fargo to attend Nourish the Future. It's a national education initiative developed by science teachers for science teachers. The ag teachers who attended learned about biofuels and will bring their newfound knowledge back to the classroom and their future lesson plans.
Biofuels are going to be, they're our future. Trying to learn more about them myself so that I can incorporate it into the classroom is going to be a big key.
Throughout the two-day seminar, teachers completed an array of activities and lessons, such as washing biofuel.
The idea is that we can get teachers excited about current agriculture and biofuels that's happening in the state of North Dakota and Minnesota, and hopefully their excitement transfers to the students.
This was the second year for the program. A mother and daughter with a passion for agriculture are using their skills as extension agents in adjoining western North Dakota counties. Devin Leo joined the McKenzie County NDSU Extension Team in Watford City as an Ag and Natural Resources agent in 2019. A year later, her mom, Kelly Leo, became Williams County Ag and Natural Resources Extension Agent in Williston. Kelly says she always knew Devin belonged in Extension.
I knew from the time she was little the way that the kid had the passion for 4-H and livestock and all of the things she wanted to do, that Extension would be a good fit. She just kind of chose her path.
Took the long way
She chose
around.
her path, and then she came back to it.
Both women have ag degrees and extensive experience that make them a good fit in Extension. They also sometimes work as a team to coordinate Extension events with nearby counties. Still ahead, we take another story out of the Agweek vault with a look inside a former grain elevator that's now a home.
I am Kevin Johnson, president of Gateway Building Systems. I started with Gateway back in 1974 on the construction side. The next year went into the office and sales, and in 1977 became part owner. We've got a great team of salespeople, designers, project managers. The key to Gateway is our people. Our customers appreciate the quality and reliability.
Systems way. Good work, good pay, in a good life, lets me live my way. Good work, good pay, in a good life, Trans Systems way. Good work, good pay, in a good life, it lets me live my way. It's the Trans Systems way. Good work.
Small or large, Superior Grain Equipment has the storage, conditioning, and handling equipment to fit any size operation with a wide variety of options and accessories, including our patented Blockbuster auger to help break up blockages over the center sump gate, and a full line of mixed flow grain dryers with even heating, excellent efficiency, and expandable capacities. Protect your investment and market your grain. Get superior quality, protection, and reliability with Superior Grain Equipment.
For over 130 years, Farmers Mutual of Nebraska has been providing protection from the unexpected. Farmers and ranchers choose Farmers Mutual insurance coverage for their industry experience, prompt claim service, and unmatched financial strength. Experience an insurance plan that's customized for your operation. Visit fmne.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Go beyond the headlines with an Agweek membership. Get in-depth agribusiness reporting, original farm and ranch stories, and fact-based research for the most comprehensive ag news in the upper Midwest. Experienced ag journalists bring you exclusive ag news, insights, and policy updates you won't find anywhere else. Become a member today and get unlimited access to Agweek and Agweek TV.
Could the region be in for more record-breaking temps? Here's John with our AgriWeather Outlook.
All right, so much for the early part of summer. We're now into high summer now. By that I mean it's the time of summer weather where summer weather is expected, right? You get into July and August, everywhere pretty well east of the Rocky Mountains, it's summertime. A cool day is in the somewhere around 70 degrees, and a hot day is somewhere in the 90s, and it's usually somewhere in between, right? So with high summer, we do get our usual round of summer thunderstorms and the downside of summer rainfall, which is that it does tend to be irregular. And even in a wet summer, you sometimes get areas that go fairly dry for 2 or 3 weeks. None of this is necessarily drought. Drought so far continues to be confined to the western states. It has not really moved out very much, at least, into the Great Plains. The jet stream pattern, as we go into this week, there's an important split flow across the Pacific Northwestern part of the continent, and that split flow will continue to put some energy into the middle part of the country, which will cause troughiness along the east coast and ridging out west. What does that mean? Well, it means it's going to be fairly warm over the Rocky Mountains and western parts of Canada. However, the truly hot weather is confined to the southern states. This particular configuration will likely draw some hot, and by hot now, I'm talking about weather that's like 90 or in the 90s. It's going to pull that up into the high plains, but not so much across the Great Plains. As this week goes along, though, I do expect some of that hot weather to crawl back up into the western Corn Belt, into much of Iowa, and eventually get into Illinois, Indiana, and even parts of Ohio, except for perhaps the northeastern section. So this is hot. A lot of this weather will be in the 90s, or at least around 90. A lot of the northern plains will be stuck mostly in the 80s, a few days in the 70s, and the cool weather will be confined to areas way up to the north. Now, as we head toward the second week, still seeing some ridging taking place. That will likely expand a bit, but it's also going to be confined to a little bit of this northwest flow, which will keep everything from like the eastern Dakotas and into the Great Lakes from getting terribly, terribly hot. But it will be fairly hot from Montana down through Texas over a lot of the next couple of weeks. Southeast will stay pretty hot. The northeast will kind of go back and forth toward the end of the period. It will actually get fairly mild toward the 4th of July and after in the northeastern states. Precipitation for this week, of course, typical summertime precipitation, very disjoint. There will be scattered storms possible anywhere. The west coast mostly pretty dry. This is the southwestern monsoon getting active, storms into New Mexico and Colorado. There will be scattered storms in the Great Plains, but a few areas with a little bit more concentration. Signs do point toward the first week of July getting a little more stormy into North Dakota and the northern plains, drier weather around the south, and just more nominal or typical precipitation over most of the Corn Belt and the eastern United States, while the west coast stays dry.
The team at North Star Ag is committed to quality and committed to you. We're not just a full-service dealer, we're farmers too, so we know you need the best machinery and services that'll keep you going all season long. We have the largest equipment inventory in the upper Midwest with a well-equipped parts and service department. So whether you need machinery tomorrow or parts today, stop in and experience what North Star Ag can offer on our website at northstar-ag.com or give us a call at 701-361-4790.
Every season has an end. After spending your whole life building something, it can be hard to move on to your next stage in life. But when that time comes, you deserve to have someone you trust guide you through the process. And by trusting us to pass on your legacy, it gives someone else the chance to create their own. Every auction has a story. Let us share yours.
AuctionBlock.com. First with online equipment auctions in 1999. First in worldwide registered users. AuctionBlock.com. Online farm, construction, and transportation equipment auctions every Wednesday. Sell with the leader. Call Auction Block today, 218-483-7880, or visit us online at AuctionBlock.com.
It's going to be an interesting year in agriculture. We have already seen the markets trade to new crop highs and levels not seen in years. There is uncertainty around the 2022 growing season. Will drought impact production? How many acres will be switched? And will demand remain strong? Are you getting the information you need to make the right marketing decisions? With the changing market environment, maybe it's time to change how you approach your grain marketing. Let Martinson Ag Risk Management get you the news that matters and a marketing plan that suits your needs.
Since the inception of Vaterstadt, the spirit of innovation has led the company. We push the limits, providing innovative and reliable seeding and tillage solutions that simplify everyday life for farmers. We continue to reimagine the capabilities and technology behind farm machinery, providing customers with a perfect emergence while maximizing their yields. We look forward to growing together.
Abandoned grain elevators dot the prairies, but in 2018, we met a man who was turning one into his home. Rose Dunn joined us now with a look inside in this story from the Agweek Vault.
If you ever drive on Highway 52 from Moorhead to Barnesville, Minnesota, you may have seen it and wondered what was going on inside.
This is pretty grand.
Scott Doms is an architect and contractor based in Fargo. His business does a lot of remodel projects on older homes, but he's never done anything like this.
It borderlines grand and insanity, I guess.
He bought an abandoned grain elevator in Baker, Minnesota, and is turning it into his home.
There's not a lot of these that people are hunting me down for yet.
Doms found the elevator for sale on Craigslist and bought it for $15,000 in February of 2017. But he stopped counting how much money he's spent on the project.
I don't really ever want to know how much money I've put into it. Certainly don't want to know how much time I've put into it.
Have you ever had a moment where you said, what have I done? I just want to live in a new condo in town.
Yep, it happens about once a week. What was I thinking? I mean, it's just like, and it's very overwhelming and stressful, but there's those times when I'm driving back out here and I can see this thing 6 miles out. And as I get closer, I'm just going, I would have never thought that I would have owned something like this. And it's so cool.
Doms has no farm background, but he loves the history of living in a grain elevator.
One of the original fertilizer bags.
And he has several original artifacts on display.
That's the bin board, so they could tell what product was in each space.
Doms has finished about 2,000 square feet so far, with plans to keep expanding.
From up there, you can see the ridge of Lake Agassiz. You can just see for miles. It's just beautiful.
Since we were out there in 2018, Scott has continued to work on the elevator. We went back recently to take a look. Among the work he's done is adding a game room in the drive-through bay, complete with a circular slide, a 3-story bedroom in an adjoining bin for his son, and a guest room with a loft.
Very cool. Thanks, Rose. Still ahead on Agweek TV, we'll visit a farm where kids can get a taste of ag life.
Attention farmers and farming communities. The herbicide Paraquat has been linked to Parkinson's disease. Paraquat, also known as Gramoxone, is still being used in the U.S. on corn, soy, and wheat crops and puts farm workers in danger. Producers across the country have filed lawsuits claiming that Paraquat caused their Parkinson's disease and that the manufacturer failed to warn about the chemical's risk of neurological damage. If you or a loved one was diagnosed with Parkinson's after direct or indirect exposure to Paraquat, call or visit solberglaw.com.
The team at North Star Ag is committed to quality and committed to you. We're not just a full-service dealer, we're farmers too, so we know you need the best machinery and services that'll keep you going all season long. We have the largest equipment inventory in the upper Midwest with a well-equipped parts and service department. So whether you need machinery tomorrow or parts today, stop in and experience what North Star Ag can offer on our website at northstar-ag.com or give us a call at 701-361-4790.
Don't miss out on the equipment you'll need next season. Titan Machinery, your local Case IH dealer, has early order discounts on its full line of powerful, efficient, new Case IH equipment, including tractors, combines, and self-propelled sprayers. Get a great deal and ensure that you have the latest in productivity and technology. Supply chains are tight. Contact your Titan Machinery dealership today and find out how much you can save by ordering ahead. Titan Machinery, your local Case IH equipment experts.
Every season has an end. After spending your whole life building something, it can be hard to move on to your next stage in life. But when that time comes, you deserve to have someone you trust guide you through the process. And by trusting us to pass on your legacy, it gives someone else the chance to create their own. Every auction has a story. Let us share yours.
For Agweek, this is Mikkel Pates at Watertown, South Dakota.
We'll look at the positive impacts that dairy can have on the community.
A Minnesota couple has put a grain bin to a new use. Spoiler alert, it's not grain.
This elaborate system of tubing with the downhill slope is how Maplewood State Park gathers sap to make syrup.
Thanks for watching Agweek TV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. A farm outside of Moorhead is opening its doors and pastures to the community's kids. Harvest Hope Farm offers an array of summer camps that allow children to see what life is really like on the farm.
You know, we live so close to this big Fargo-Moorhead area where kids just don't get out on a farm. Many of them don't know where their food comes from. And we just want to be able to, we just think it's important to expose kids to that.
Lynn Cutterba is the founder and executive director of Harvest Hope Farm. The Cutterbas purchased the land in 2015 and wanted the farm to be a learning environment for not only their 8 children, but their community as well.
So we just thought if we could find a way to bless other families with children and to share the outdoors and share what farm life is like with others, that would be a great way to bless our community. And we just believe in using what you have in the time you have to benefit those around you, and that's what we're trying to do.
Harvest Hope Farm offers llama camp for children ages 3 to 5 and farm camp for children ages 6 to 13. Throughout the summer, the youth learn about wool, how to take care of livestock, how to plant a garden, and much more.
And I think that having opportunities like this for young people, young kids, to be exposed to it so early on in their lives is really important, so it kind of sparks that interest in them too.
Sarah Hewitt signed her 3-year-old son Arlo up for llama camp. She wanted him to experience what life on the farm was like.
Well, we live in the city, and I recognize that he really loves being outdoors, but we don't always get the opportunity to be kind of in a more rural setting.
See you tomorrow! Harvest Hope Farm also hosts church groups and holds other events open to the public. Stories you'll only see on agweek.com and in Agweek magazine this week. University of Minnesota researchers are studying the viability of green ammonia in corn dryers and other farm applications. And a financially troubled South Dakota grain elevator has until the end of the month to work out a deal to keep its operating license. We appreciate you watching Agweek TV. Remember to check us out daily on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up on all your ag news. Have a great week.